because it's after a while it becomes a bit infectious in that you get a certain adrenaline fix out of it. So when you hit one, you want to hit back twice. And that's the only way you survive.
Which position do you play, by the way?
I'm a second row.
How long have you been with Mwamba?
Oops, 11 years now.
Wow.
Joined Mwamba in 1997.
From a rookie?
Yeah.
Now to
and I'm over the hill. I'm soon retiring. Any extra game I play now is just a plus.
And we're going to get to where you're headed to, because you have something very interesting which
right.
But you had a successful start of the season last weekend, Floodlights. And many say quit while you can.
Yeah.
11 years is a long time. But tell us about Floodlights. What was that like for you?
Wow. It was great to win, given the fact that we started training, I can say badly, because of the post-election chaos. Yes. Given that our home ground is Nairobi Railway Club, it's right inside Uhuru Park. And plenty of our players were stuck out of Nairobi at the same time. We couldn't access training ground as we wanted. We normally start training by like the 2nd of January every year. But this year it was on and off. Sometimes we were closed down for a whole week. Jeez. So we had to do sort of a crash program.
Intense.
Prepare, exactly, intense, and prepare very well. But then again, the spirit was there. The boys did very well. We finished the season very well last year, and we carried that on to this year.
Good one.
And Floody was what it was, and we just worked hard and we won. I
can see what you mean. Yeah. The experience, because I know you've played in South Africa before.
Yeah.
How different is it from here?
Wow, extremely different. For example, the same way if you go around Nairobi, every mtaa you see a soccer pitch. Now there, every mtaa there's a rugby pitch.
What?
Yeah. And like the team that I was playing for had about like 7 teams from senior, second team, under 23, under 21, under 19, under 15, 10. They even had a team for the sons of my teammates who were like in class 1.
Are you serious?
A club with
very
4
much
pitches, exactly, and where I was playing was semi-professional, and it's all a community thing. They're all involved, and there's lots of money, and I mean, really, they've taken it very, very seriously. I'm very passionate about it.
You see, that's the interesting thing about Kenyan players, which I really admire.
Right,
is like you went to South Africa, semi-professional, good money, as you said. And of course, the next question would be, why did you come back? I mean,
God, I mean, that's a million times. I mean,
there's money there. I mean, you know, let's admit it, sports doesn't do very well in Kenya.
Yeah.
It's only the last, I think, say, 5-6 years that rugby, especially.
Yeah.
Now is when people begin to notice, hey, hold on, it's a good sport, very well managed, very well disciplined. But generally, sports doesn't do well. But players still come back home, and
it's a certain love for our country that sometimes it's hard to explain. Okay, like for my example, I went down and played for 1 season. There was 2 of us. The other guy was called Peter Okila. And at the end of the season, we were to go back the following season because the team was under transition. They had a new coach, new team manager, and all that. But then by the time when I came back here, I was here for about a month. Then I was like, you know what, I'd rather slag it here. That's it. We just love, most of us, we just love our country. We dedicate ourselves to it.
That's what you mean.
It's not a big money maker here, but we believe we've come so far and we still have
a long way to go.
Yeah, exactly. But definitely, it's going to grow in leaps and bounds, just like Benja said before.
Yes, in fact, that's what I was asking, because he talked a lot about now very credible, very passionate sponsors have come in, perhaps not necessarily understanding the game, but they understand how important stars of sport. Exactly, and the potential there is in as far as rugby is concerned. Where do you see it? Where do you see rugby in, say, give or take 5 or 10 years? And you say it looks like it's going to grow.
Right.
Many people say, you know, the Ministry of Sports needs to be merged with youth.
Exactly. Okay. Now
it's kind of slow, Richard. But
yeah, no, it's a bit slow, but then it's come a time where we need to up it. Okay, we need affirmative action. The government must step in. Where we've reached right now as rugby, I mean, Benja and his 7th team are doing very well.
Extremely.
They'll go around the world, they'll twanga everybody, but to be consistent. The same thing has befallen our Kenya volleyball women's team,
True.
The Queens of Africa, but going to World Stage, they can never really hack it. Because then now you need government involvement. The government must come in, government must support your sport.
I see what you mean.
Because they're the only ones who have that extra, can I say, resources to take to the next level. I'll give you an example, like, 2 years ago, we were playing Tunisia in a World Cup qualifiers here in Nairobi.
Yeah, yeah.
Our Kenya Rugby Football Union was struggling because we had played so many games, 15s. Yeah, we go for a tour, the statue of us is about like 4 million or something like that. Yeah, they're not paid as allowances. We decided to go for training without typical jam and everything and all that. Tunisia, meanwhile, were away in Europe training for 2 months. Okay, everybody, I got a letter from the Minister of Sports, or the so-called Sirikal, saying this guy is on national duty, do not sack him. Pay him, is due, this not leave or anything.
Are you serious?
They went to France for one month and I think 1 week. Then they went to UK for another 3 weeks. They flew direct from UK here to come and beat us. We beat them at KRFU on Gong Road. They cried, yeah. We asked why. They'd spent 52 million. While we had spent about, I think, like 2 million to prepare for the game.
So, proverbial 52 million shillings down the drain.
Exactly, not translated to results. Exactly. So can you imagine if Kenya had like
52 million?
Would be world champions.
Do you see it happening, Rich?
I see it happening. We just need to shift our strategy a bit. We need to lobby the government more. We need to push them so that at least they allocate some funding in their budget that goes to every sport that is doing well managed and doing well.
I see what you mean. And rugby is there.
And rugby is there. Rugby is way on top there. And the other thing is, another example is, our Kenya Sevens team travels all over the world. In 6 months, they do all the continents. I don't understand why, like, Kenya Tourism Board hasn't used them as a marketing tool.
That's true.
Yeah?
That's true.
And they say they spend about 500 million to market Kenya. I mean, these guys are, I mean, if you can just put extra 50 million, the mileage is huge.
Actually, you know
exactly.
what? Back in the day, if you remember when we were growing up,
you
could never hear rugby they say that side of Uruguay.
Right.
Now it has, gone to even, that kind of neighborhood. Which means rugby, of course, is growing. My fear is, like, of course, you get into a situation where guys play rugby in school, and then there's that gap in between.
Where you lose a lot of talent.
Exactly. I don't know what your thoughts would be on that, your advice on that. Especially when it comes to school rugby.
Exactly,
That side of Uruguay.
To give Mwamba RFC as a club is a perfect example of that. Most of our players are inbred, We rarely attract anybody defecting from the teams,
I see what you mean.
We get our own players, the players we've trained who started playing rugby after school, many. Started training. Started, like, we have one called Richmond Baraza.
After school?
After school, he was a bouncer. We got him into rugby. He's played for Kenya 15s as a prop. And he's not the first one. There'll be plenty before. And clubs just need to go out of their way and develop relationships with schools. Some clubs are doing it already. Impala at one time had one with Nairobi School. Mwamba had one with the Highway, Jamhuri, and Upper for a while.
I see what you mean.
People might just continue trying. And of course, KRFU is trying in its own way to have a lot of development programs.
That's true.
But then there has to be a link somewhere. The club. Just like you're saying. Because a lot of talent is being lost. You see somebody's doing very well.
Then there's no link.
Then there's no link. Exactly. There's no way we can tap them or attract them.
11 years. You've played for 11 years.
Right.
Almost quitting now.
Right.
Something very interesting that you want to start doing, which is women rugby.
Right.
I know it's not the first time. It's not new in Kenya, but it's interesting. Tell us more. I mean, who qualifies as to be a? Okay, this is walking a tightrope. So let me.
Okay.
let me phrase this properly. My name was Nipige Mbao Kinakobi. Women rugby. Is that a popular sport? Is it gaining popularity?
It is.
What kind of?
What
kind of woman plays rugby? Okay,
exactly.
I said it.
I said it. If when they're not playing or training, if you sit and let's have a drink with them, they're very nice and sweet and beautiful, eh?
Are you serious?
Yes, they are.
They're not rough like boxers,
No.
I'm thinking Congestina playing rugby.
No, it's
straight out. No. I'm not seeing Kobe. Beautiful, nice hair playing rugby.
No. I think I invite you for one of the after training sessions one of these days. Then you'll see. You won't actually feel that the macho and all that. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, very polite and very feminine.
Is it different? Is it are there different sets of rules for women rugby?
Slightly. For example, like for women, I know for sure they're not allowed to tackle here.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I guess they can, but
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I guess they can, but
but
you
know what I'm saying.
See, tightrope once again.
But generally the rules are the same, and we have again the rejuvenation of women's rugby has always been pushed by Mwamba.
Right.
We started a program a few years ago that was led by our then coach, our current chairman, Mongi Muthe, who came up with an idea and said, let's rejuvenate Kenyan women rugby again. And we started up, sent out invitations. We went to Kenya Polytechnic. We targeted the Kenya Ladies Hockey League.
Wow.
We sent to colleges, estates. We said, any lady who's willing to play rugby, please come along. All of them had never played rugby before, because currently I think there's no school that provides the game.
Yes.
They've all been trained at Relay Club.
Yes.
They've all moved on about 1 or 2 years ago. Confederation of African Rugby also muted our women's continental championship.
Nice.
Kenya went, they've been going consistently, they're doing very well.
Women rugby?
Yeah.
You have a team?
Yeah, there's a team, the national women's rugby team. They went, I think they twanged Zambia, twanged Zimbabwe. I think lost to, I lose the far, they lose South Africa or something. Yeah.
So who's the star then? Do we have like a couple of names who are very good women rugby players? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty. I mean, like like Angela Olum, yeah. One something specific is that she knows how to convert very well. She does drop kicks to convert.
I see what you mean. Yes.
Better than many men. Yeah, I mean, I could never drop kick to save my life.
Are you serious?
Exactly, she does that. Yeah, some of them are faster than us. Yeah, I mean, they've been doing very. That Linda Kothu's been. I mean, she was amongst the first generation. And she's been around for long. Yeah.
What do you intend for your role to be in women rugby, coach?
No, they have a coach already, Sami Kimei, who's very extremely capable. Yeah. I mean, my involvement so far right now with the club is I'm still playing, and I'll play till the day maybe my leg breaks.
Yeah.
Or my daughter complains. And then basically my contribution to the club currently is as a player, and I teach individual skills.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have an overall coach called John Onyangombai. I'm not even the captain. I used to be before.
I see what
currently
you mean.
it's Saiwe who's the captain. I've taken a back seat. I play, and I teach individual skills.
Will you be a lot more involved in women rugby when you retire, if you do retire? Will you?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be involved in the whole of it.
I see what you mean. I see
exactly,
what you mean. Rich, always good to see you, man.
Thank you very much.
It's the Power Breakfast. Is there a feedback question? It has nothing to do with sports, which is the best thing about our feedback question. But it is important because the results come out today, I understand. Do you think the Kenyan system of grading schools has an effect on students' performance? Maybe even sports can come in on this one. But once again, that question, do you think the Kenyan system of grading schools has an effect on students' performance? 0725418197 or 2442 is the number you can use to send your SMS and a brief comment on that. And then Kobe and I will sample some of your comments at the end of the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.